I heard you on my YouTube back in 21. Lying awake, seeing what the jam has done. Memo calls, it seems a lot of fun. That Smaslin chap has got archaeology. Music played via new technology. International, everyone can see. I met the Moose Man. What did we tell them?
FreakJam made everyone a star. FreakJam made everyone a star.
Pictures came and grew your heart. And now we meet in Josh's famous studio. We hear the playback and it seems so long ago. And you remember how Joggy used to go. You were the first one. You were the best one.
FreakJam made everyone a star. FreakJam made everyone a star.
In my house and in my car, we can rewind to hear guitar.
FreakJam made everyone a star. FreakJam made everyone a star.
In my house and in my car, we can rewind to hear guitar. Pictures came on your TV, made us all a jamily.
FreakJam star. FreakJam star. FreakJam made everyone a 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 star. FreakJam
And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's Radio Freak Jam, and I am here with the one, the only, the quite nervous, the lovely Jilbo, ladies and gentlemen. There she is. Give her a round of applause, please. So, Radio
Hello.
Freak Jam. Meet the freaks, Jilbo.
Finally.
Now, let's discuss why you're here to start with, because you made a deal with Wispy.
Technically I didn't, because he agreed to play Baby Shark before he thought of the deal. So it came after. But I kind of figured that it was worth it.
And he did play Baby Shark.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
But it's not just because of Wispy. I mean, thank you for Wispy for making the deal and finally getting you on here. But a lot of people have been asking to hear and meet the freaks with Jilbo.
Yeah, they're all mad.
I don't think they're all mad at all. So, just to give a few people who might be watching who don't know your background, give us a little brief overview of Jilbo.
Well, where do you want me to start? I'm a civil servant, which is very, very boring. Just office work. I grew up in County Down by the coast, and I lived in Belfast for a number of years, but I'm back home again now, and I love it.
So this is Northern Ireland, just to clarify. I know you like to make sure
Yeah.
people get that right.
Yeah, Northern Ireland, very much. Yeah, so I'm involved with the local yacht club. So I'm currently the secretary, so I get to do a lot of paperwork and dealing with emails and forms and letter writing and so on. Um, so we've last year was pretty much a write-off, really, as you might imagine. We're able to get back to doing some sailing and stuff now, which is great. Um,
Weren't people just taking yachts and going and living in isolated in the sea?
I'm not sure if any of our local ones did, but certainly, yeah, I think a few people kind of thought it was a good way to stay away from people.
Yeah. Drop anchor
Yeah,
offshore and just keep out of the out of the way, you know.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so yeah, I mean, it can be a lot of fun normally during the season, so it's sort of May till September, October time. There's usually quite a lot of activity on the water and in the club as well, but because we're not allowed live music and stuff at the moment, and numbers are obviously restricted, so that's all very much on the back burner
So do you
for now.
sail yourself?
I did when I was younger, not so much now. Usually, if I'm on the water at all, it would be on what's called the committee boat. So that's the people who start and finish the races and stuff.
Right.
So it could be pulling up a flag, or it could be just recording sail numbers as they cross the finish line and stuff like that.
Cool. But you're not a sailor yourself per se.
Not really. It would be a bit of a stretch to say that these days, for sure.
But I mean, if you've grown up in that environment, I suppose that's quite a big part of your life.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
I'd imagine
all
you've got
my life have been
large fishing industry around there as well.
not so much where I'm from, but certainly down the peninsula. There's a few fishing ports, and then on down the coast a little bit south from here as well. There's quite a big fishing port, yeah.
So just to put people where you exactly are, what's your nearest biggest town that people have kind of heard of?
Um, I mean, whenever I start work in a new office, for example, and people say, "Where are you from?" and I tell them, they're like, "Where's that?" So the biggest town sort of close to here would be Downpatrick, which you probably haven't heard of, but it's where Saint Patrick is allegedly buried.
Ah,
It's the town where Ash are from. Um, so yeah, I mean that's probably our main sort of county town. But probably the biggest place anybody will have heard of is probably Belfast, which is about 20 miles away.
you surprised me there a little bit, Gilbo, because you know you and I have talked. We've messengered late in the night, and you've been on Zoom calls where we've had chats and bits and pieces, and you said allegedly about St Patrick, and that's impressed me to start with. I'm just saying.
Well, I mean, there's a great big stone beside Down Cathedral, and apparently that's his burial place. But I mean, who knows? We weren't around in 800 or 900 and something AD to know for sure. But I mean, certainly it does attract a lot of visitors and so on. There's a big statue of him just outside Downpatrick.
And no snakes.
No snakes.
No snakes. That's a good
No.
sign.
It is a good sign. I'm not really a fan.
You don't like snakes, no?
Not so much. Not so much.
So you did have a plan that you were going to go out and make a little video of your town and bits and pieces like that and show us all where you lived, but that didn't come off due to weather.
Yeah, so last weekend the weather was absolutely terrible. There was a lot of rain, a lot of wind and stuff, and I thought it would be a bit grim. This weekend would have been awesome, but I went to the pub instead, so sorry.
Look,
Finally able to go to the pub.
I was going to say that you've been sat on the show, absolutely horrified that us lot are going out and you couldn't come and join us. And now your
Oh,
pubs
yeah.
are open and you've been out down the pub. How was it? What did the first pint taste like, Gilbo?
Oh, it was good. Well, actually, Friday night we were out for dinner for my friend's birthday, so I had a pint then, and that was pretty good. And then I went to meet a friend on Saturday. So we had some pints and some barbecue and stuff, and the weather was lovely, and it was nice talking to a real life human being and sitting out in the sun and feeling a little bit normal. It's been a long winter.
Well, I mean, I'd like to do a quick shout out to Aslan and Delwyn and the lovely Melody for hosting us this weekend. And cheers, by the way. I know you're on the Fight Milk.
Yeah.
She's on the Fight Milk, ladies and gentlemen. Cheers. And cheers to everyone in the chat room as well. But yeah, shout out to Aslan and Delwyn. Thanks for hosting us this weekend. We had a lovely, lovely weekend. Again, sat out in the back garden, drinking, and just enjoying each other's company. And it was absolutely lovely, beautiful weather and everything. Went for a walk in the forest. And we were even joined by Joshua and Oggy and Mr. Rob and his 2 kids. So that was lovely to see them as well. So shout out to those guys. So, what's the situation out there now? Oh,
Sorry.
She turned her YouTube up.
Sorry.
So,
It crashed on me.
oh dear. You're allowed out. So what's the deal? You're allowed out how many people, inside, outside?
Well, we've only been allowed inside pubs since last Monday. And I think it might be 6 people from 6 households inside in the pub, and like 12 from 6 or 12 from 12 outside. I can't keep up. It keeps changing.
And have you seen a return of any live music just yet?
No, not allowed. Not allowed. I think you can play sort of ambient music, so you can have like a DJ, as long as it's not too loud. The only live entertainment I think you can have at the minute is like poetry reading or something.
Right, okay.
So that's what everybody wants when they go to the pub.
The boy stood on the burning bridge eating red hot scallops. A lump of sauce fell off his chin and burnt him on the ankle.
So
No?
yeah, we're a little bit behind you guys, sadly. Because it would take the edge off you lot going to Bumbles if I could go and listen to a real life band here, but not just yet.
Soon though, right? It looks we're
hope
moving
so.
forward. You're not under the same restrictions as us, are you? From the point of view of your government decide on your movements and our government decide on our movements, and then everyone complains, and it's all the same across the world. But so, I mean, if they actually set a roadmap out, have you actually got something set down when the next step's going to happen?
I have I don't know why the 16th of June's in my head. I might have just completely made that up. I'm not sure. I think they're just watching how everything goes, really, because they have been sort of following the trends with the stats a little bit closer maybe than you guys have been, so Boris will just come out and say, we're going to do this, and suddenly you guys are doing it, but yeah, hopefully not too long. I would be involved with a festival over here, which is usually sort of first or second weekend in August. And the guys they worked so hard last year. They put lots of risk assessments and lots of medications in place. And then the week before, they were told they couldn't run it. So they split it kind of into 2 weekends this year. And so far it looks hopeful that that'll be able to go ahead sort of the 9th, 10th of July, I think it is
That's
the first
good.
one. So fingers crossed it'll be okay by then. But yeah, there's nothing really firm that I've heard so far.
Well, fingers crossed for that. Hope that happens, and let us know. Keep us informed. And if you need some bands to come and play the yacht club or the festival, just let us know. We'll need
Absolutely, we
expenses,
can make it
obviously.
happen.
We'll need expenses, but we can talk about the rest. Holiday in Ireland, everyone. Let's go. So, what I do want to talk about a little bit is your involvement in what we've been up to, because you're very active in chat. You've been very active at quiz nights and Zoom nights that we've had. But Zoom, you're pretty quiet. Probably because you can't get a word in edgeways most of the time.
Yeah, well, that is part of it, but that's mostly because of the kind of person that I am. I'm a behind the scenes person. So this is why this is all very uncomfortable for me.
But it's just you and me, Gilbo. There's no one else. Don't worry about anyone else.
I know,
They're not even there.
But like on the Zooms, for example, like I'm not the sort of person who'll fight the way to the front of the queue to be heard. So probably sort of Phil, Sarah, Rob, Tim probably would have heard me chat a bit more because we stay up really late. So whenever most of the guys have gone, you probably hear me chat a bit more then.
So before we get into all of this and how you got involved and stuff, let's you are quite good with your playlists. You generally have a lot of requests. So what I want to do today is I want you to pick some songs for us to play. Because, you're not a musician, you're just a listener, and we need listeners, and we need music fans. So you give me some tracks to play, I will play the track, and then I want you to tell us a little bit about what in particular you like about the track, and then we'll play it, and then we'll come back and we'll talk some more. What do you reckon?
Okay. Yeah.
So what's our first song for tonight, Gilbo?
Well, it'll not come as any big surprise to anyone. I have picked Ian Blackwood.
Okie
Um,
dokie.
and the one that I picked was Hold On. Um, Usually I find I like a song because a word or a phrase or a line will jump out at me.
Right.
And obviously the chorus, we've all been saying just hold on a little bit longer for about a year. So I think it was a kind of an important message and stuff. To be honest, I haven't analysed the rest of the song. It might mean something completely different in the whole. But yeah, just that sort of hold on like just a little bit longer. This'll get better. Is kind of why I picked that one.
Okay, well, I'm just going to literally fire my other system up and find that for you because I haven't got it on this Mac, but I can do in any amount of time. So bear with us on that. So you've kind of got a thing for Mr. Ian Blackwood, I've noticed.
I think he's great.
And you've started a few
Yeah.
riots in the chat room and maybe broken up a couple of marriages.
Well, I wouldn't say I have. He probably has. I just sort of made the suggestion and sat back and let events unfold, really. I take no responsibility for breaking up anybody's marriage.
So, you see, now I've got to be careful because there's also a song called Hold On by another one of your favourite bands, isn't there?
Is there?
There's a track called Hold On by Days Remain, yes.
Oh, I haven't heard that one.
Have you not?
I don't think so.
Well, I might play that for you later then. But I'm just
Josh
trying to-
keeps taking things down from YouTube and Spotify and stuff, so you have
Does
to
he
bully
now?
them to get them back on.
I'll have to
Yeah.
ask him what's going on with that. Well, I know I've got this track
Yeah.
on here somewhere, but I can't find it. So I'll tell you what, pick another song, and while we're playing that, well, I'll find that one for you. So we've got another band.
Yeah. Actually, the next one on my list was Days Remain.
Right?
And I couldn't decide. Which one I wanted. I think I go for Open Your Eyes.
Right, let's find it.
Please.
Yay. Why can't I do that either? I don't think I've actually got that one. Have I got that one?
Then
Why
play
have,
one.
have I played that
Play
on the
one you
show
do
before?
have.
Have I played that one on the show before?
I think so. Yeah. You've
Might-
played One More Day, definitely. If it's easier, play it.
Yeah, I've definitely got that one. Yeah, it's not saying I've got that one. You see, I had all that problems and I transposed all the music over from one system to the other, and I might have missed a few tracks. So let's find a Days Remain that we have got. So this is Josh and his band, and you've been a big advocate for these guys. You ask of them a lot. What particularly did you like about Days Remain?
I don't know. I think I just like the sound. Because I mean, Josh is obviously a hugely talented musician. And the band sounds great. And he doesn't push that side of things. Like he talks a lot about the studio and the drum teaching and photographing patio furniture and stuff, but he doesn't really talk that much about the band. So I enjoy hearing his music. So he definitely should put some more out there.
Right, well, Josh, if you're listening, Gilbo wants more Days Remain or more Josh original music. And I think we all do, let's be honest.
Yeah.
So let's hear
definitely.
one. So this is One More Day by Days Remain.
This world's gone silent. You wouldn't dare make a noise, and you've seen all that I have. When did we lose our voice? You were taken too early, and your memory remains. Yet somehow you hurt me. Anyway, and I hope you'll forgive me. I was a little too late, and it was never my intention to leave things this way. slept and awake now, and I can't clear my mind. You're looking down on me. This place has lost its time. Yeah, you were my weakness. Hey, you kept me strong. You'll always be with me, no matter how long. And I hope you'll forgive me. I was a little too late, and it was never my intention to leave things this way. And I hope you'll forgive me. I was a little too late, and it was never my intention to leave things this way. I would sacrifice it all just for one more day. I would sacrifice it all just for one more. I would sacrifice it all just for one more day. I would sacrifice it all just for one more. Most memories fade, but yours will stay the same. Most memories will fade. And I hope you'll forgive me. I was a little too late, and it was never my intention to leave things this way. Most memories fade, but yours will stay the same. Most memories fade, but yours will stay the same. Most memories fade, but yours will stay the same. Most memories will fade, yours will stay the same. Most memories will fade.
And that's our very own Josh Bacon there with Days Remain and One More Day. You enjoying that, Gilbo?
Yeah, loving it. Loving it. I'm a tiny bit sad that you couldn't play Open Your Eyes, just because in the chorus, I feel like it applies to me. It's like, take this away from me. I can't be trusted alone. Like that feels like my life.
I will have another look for it. I thought I had it, but for some reason it's not showing up in
At
the library.
Wednesday, I'll be fine.
But I will find it for you. And if I haven't got it, I'll put a request into Josh and get it sent over again. I do apologise. I have found
It's quite all right.
the Ian Blackwood song for you.
Oh, cool.
I've also found a load of Ian Blackwood stuff that I've never played on the shows, so I've put that in the playlist as well.
Get to it. Yep.
So you can have
One
some
a
more Ian
week
Blackwood.
for the next however many weeks.
So and a bit more of the
I
artist
love
life.
him.
You do,
Oh,
don't
cool.
you?
Yeah, I really do. Yeah. I don't know. I just get this really good vibe from him. Like, he just, when I watched back his, I nearly said Meet the Freaks. It wasn't at all. It was the Unsigned session.
Yeah.
He just seems like the nicest person.
He
You know,
is.
I mean, like, well, Canadians do, like, generally as a nation of people, they do seem quite lovely for the most part. But he just comes across like such a nice guy. And he's also insanely talented, and his family's insanely talented.
Oh,
You know, so yeah,
much
looking
so.
forward to the 17th.
Again, another one of these people, like a bit like yourself, who I've met on the internet. I met through YouTube, and I ended up working with Walk Off the Earth through connections with him, and doing videos for him. And he just, you know, whenever we chat, it's like we're old friends. We've never properly met. We've never shook hands. He's just one of those guys who's just, as you say, insanely talented. Not only that, he's a great photographer. He goes hunting, like, dresses up in camos with a crossbow and goes turkey shooting and stuff like that.
Wow.
He's just, a proper talented man. And one day I'm going to get out there and have a moose burger with him, because he's promised me he's going to get me some moose and take me to the ice hockey one day.
But they just call it hockey there.
They do, yeah.
Don't be the tourist. Pretend like you know what you're talking about.
Never been there. No, but again, it would be lovely to get out to Canada at some point in time and catch up with those guys. But yeah, we'll see. But we'll see him on June the 17th.
Yeah, I can't wait. It's in the diary.
You'll be here, I'm sure. So
Absolutely.
let's talk a little bit about how you got involved with us. How did you find out about us?
Through Phil. Because I only knew him really before lockdown and everything started, and he was just sort of getting back out and playing open mics and stuff, and he just sort of every sort of couple of weeks he said, "Oh, I'm playing a different open mic tonight," and he had mentioned Bumbles just before lockdown, and I didn't really think that much of it because I don't know the geography of Hampshire and Surrey or wherever, and then he said, "Oh, they've gone online." And I'm not going to lie. Like the first several weeks, I kind of just dropped in when he was doing a set, just to kind of give him a bit of moral support and stuff. But then as time went on, he got Sean involved, who I'd met on his stream, and was chatting to him, and just started spending a bit more time, got involved in the chat, and the rest is history as far as that's concerned. Then obviously everything else took off as the months went on with Zoom quizzes and all the videos. So many videos.
Yeah, and you hated it, didn't you? You didn't like that
Yeah.
part of it at all. But
No.
you joined in.
I mean, yeah, it's nice to be involved, and it's lovely that everybody wants me to be involved, but you just don't understand how traumatic it is for me to do it. Like whenever you said, "Oh, do us a video and introduce yourself," I was like, "Oh no." And I literally spent about 6 hours. I had Sarah tortured. She was on night shift in the hospital. And I was like, "I can't do this. Can't do this." And she'd be like, "It'll be fine. It's fine." But I got there in the end. Yeah, but there's so many videos.
Well, now you've done this, and I mean, you look at you. You're sitting here. You're relaxed. We're chatting. It doesn't seem to be any sort of hassle. I think you'll get used to it.
That's not an excuse to come up with another idea for a video, though.
We'll see. But I mean, you do this sort of stuff for work, don't you? You sort of sit and have video conferences and bits and pieces.
Not so much. Not really for work. No. The committee meetings for the yacht club were on Microsoft Teams for a number of months, so I was kind of getting used to that. But I was kind of already used to that because of Zoom quizzes and stuff. So yeah, I've had a little bit of experience, but not that much.
There you go. Look, Wispy's saying thank you so much for taking part in the videos.
Oh, you're very welcome. Just please know how traumatic it is and how much effort it takes on my part to get something that actually is passable for broadcast. Usually I get 10 seconds in and I start doing a jet and go, "Oh, shit." Just like, I know what I'm going to say until I try to say it, and then the words don't come out.
You see, Jilbo's saying that. Sorry, Sansy's saying, "I'm glad we're discussing Jilbo's origins. I wasn't sure her connection and was too embarrassed to ask."
Oh, don't be embarrassed, Saz. You can always ask.
So the origin story. Every superhero has an origin story.
It's true.
It is
true.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, how have you found it? I mean, I'm not going to say we're cliquey as a group. We try to make that not a thing. But obviously, you walked into a group where a lot of people knew each other in real life, not just online.
Yeah.
I mean, how was that for you? Was that a bit of a weird thing?
Not really, actually. I did feel a little bit self-conscious the first few weeks coming in the chat because obviously there was a little bit of who is this person, but no, not really. It all felt very comfortable and very natural. I feel very lucky that you guys have been so nice and so lovely and friendly and welcoming. And it's a bit like you were saying just before we came on air. It's like you've known these people all your life.
Mm.
It's just a very natural set of people, and I really meant nothing to any of you guys. I don't even live in the same country, but you've all been so lovely to me and just kind of kept me involved in things from a distance as much as you can, and hugely, hugely appreciate it. Because you're all a mad bunch, but to a large extent, you've kept me sane for the past year, and I'm so grateful.
Well, I mean, again, when I started this, it was for a local community. So, from my point of view, that was what it was going to be. And then, people that I knew from other countries started jumping in, and it was like, okay, this is cool. And then obviously people like Max Hunt, who I'd never met, and yourself started jumping in from other countries, and I was like, we can do more with this. And I think, people like yourselves, even Sean down in Bournemouth, who's not based locally and comes and play, and Lee Twigger up in Scunthorpe, and Cindy up in Scarborough, and Jim up in Scarborough. It's been wonderful that we can take all these people from, different countries and bring you into a part of this. And I think it's become an important part, which is why chatting to you is important as well. Do you know what I mean? Because we've done the unsigned sessions. That was all about music.
Yeah.
Meet the Freaks is about the people.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all Tim's fault. I remember the night he suggested it.
Was it Tim?
But no,
was
it is. Yeah, back in the day. And it is actually a really nice idea, because it's lovely hearing a little bit more about people. It's a lot of fun getting to hear a little bit more about people, as you say, that I've never met. Because realistically, like, I've only met 3 of the guys in the Jamley so far.
And that would be Phil, Smaslin, and Sean.
Oh, 4. Sorry, Dr. Smaslin. How could I forget him? Phil and Sarah, Sean and Simon. Yeah.
So you said guys, so I went with that. And Sarah,
Sorry.
obviously, a young lady.
Sorry, yes. Lovely Sarah.
So yeah, I mean, it's interesting, isn't it, how it all comes together? But I'm glad you felt welcome. I'm glad you've become a part of it, and you have become a part of it, because some of your comments in the chat room on occasion are cutting, or poignant, or lead into other things. I mean, you and Tony really paved the way for FreakJam, because it was you two that were talking about baking for the most part to start with.
That's true. Yeah, I suppose, yeah.
So
Yeah,
little
no,
things.
it's nice kind of trading baking stories with Tony. Yeah, because it's something that Sean and I used to talk a lot about as well, because he was always making brownies and tea cakes, particularly the tea cakes. He promised me them for like a year before I got them, and I only got tea cakes because he was doing them for FreakJam for you.
Which he didn't do in the end. He done the brownies in the end. But
I know.
we got tea cakes too, but you received yours first from the same batch, and you posted them together.
So bizarre. Yeah, I was really surprised at that. Yeah, because usually, especially since Brexit, all the postage and everything's all messed up here, and it takes forever to get things delivered now.
Well, you've got a big
So I was
border
really
down
shocked.
the Irish Sea now, haven't you? You've got a big wall that all the boats have got to come across.
Yeah, apparently so. Yeah.
Has that affected your job at all? I mean, you're a civil servant. You're a civil servant in what sector?
So I'm in the Department of Justice. So I work with, I think you call it the Court of Protection over in GB. So dealing with sort of enduring power of attorney and like financial controllers. I think you guys call them deputies, maybe.
Right.
So just so people who, for whatever reason, through accident or illness, they can't manage their own finances anymore, we kind of have an oversight role. We appoint someone, and then we kind of keep an eye to make sure that they're not sort of stealing all their money or mishandling it or whatever. So I mean, it can
Worthy
be very
cause.
interesting. Like, sorry?
A worthy cause.
Definitely, yeah. So I mean, it can be interesting. I've learned lots about making wills and inheritance tax and conveyancing bits and pieces, buying and selling someone's house if they need to pay for their nursing home or whatever. So it can be very interesting.
You're not looking after Britney
But-
Spears, are you?
No, different jurisdiction. Different jurisdiction altogether. Yeah.
She needs you on her side. That's what she needs. You sort her out.
She needs someone on her side, yeah. Definitely.
But you haven't just worked as a civil servant. You used to work for Paddy Kilty, didn't you?
Oh, very briefly, many years ago. That was it was a work experience week that kind of turned into a bit of a summer job for a while. But yeah, I worked for the company that he he partly ran it, but it made one of his TV shows. Yeah.
What was the TV show?
Patrick Kielty Almost Live.
Right, okay. I don't
Yeah,
know
it was
if we had
good
that
fun.
over here or not. So you worked in TV as well.
Very briefly and very, very low level.
And what were you doing?
Yeah. Well, it was just kind of like runner stuff, just getting stuff ready for the shows and things like that. Just yeah, because it was light entertainment and things. If they were kind of like getting stuff together to, to do a bit of a sketch or whatever, it was just kind of, can you go and grab that or do whatever, because it was 17, 18, still at school.
Nice.
So it was just summertime job. So it was short lived, but it was a lot of fun.
So, and no aspirations to work in TV? Is civil service something you've always sort of gone for? What did you want to be?
See, that was kind of my problem. I didn't know what I wanted to be.
Okay.
I was never one of these people who had this clear vision from a young age, and everything kind of was a brick on the path to get me there. I really enjoyed the TV work, but it's such a difficult industry to get into. Massively difficult. And I took the job in the civil service to have a job. I didn't really intend to stay there long term, but yeah, life happened, and here I am all these years later.
Well, as long as it pays the bills and gives you your life that you want outside of that, that's a good thing, right?
Well, this is it, yeah. Yeah, if gigs were ever allowed to happen again, it allows me to go to some gigs and stuff, so it's all
This is
good.
it. And Wispy's saying all the best people were runners at some point.
Absolutely.
I think he might have been one too
Absolutely.
at some point in time. I'm just guessing.
Just a small guess, yeah. Yeah.
And they're all
But, yeah.
complaining that they didn't get brownies at the showcase that Sean promised them. I did. We got brownies, and I have to say, guys, you're missing out because they were rather good.
Fighting talk.
What
Fighting
can
talk.
I say? What can I
Oh,
say?
dear.
Sean,
Oh, Sean.
Sean, you need to make another batch, mate. Get them sent out, little packaging
Mm-hmm.
and everything. Yeah, maybe they'll get to Aslan quicker than they will. I don't know, Tim in America or something.
Yeah.
So come on in,
Sean.
let's have another song, and I've got Hold On for you now.
Okay.
I think
well,
we should have a bit of
go
that.
for Hold On.
Now I've found it.
Yeah.
Don't sort of tell me you want a different song. Now I went and found it all.
No, absolutely not. No, I stand by it. Yeah, because it has been something I've told myself many times over, particularly the last sort of few months. I found it a lot tougher than I did in the earlier days. I was just like, oh, just hold on a little bit longer. This can't last forever. So yeah, it's a good message.
It is a good message, and this is Hold On by Mr. Ian Blackwood.
One, two, three, four. They hung a sign up in our town. If you live it up, you won't live it down. So she left Monte Rio, son, just like a bullet leaves a gun. With charcoal eyes and Monroe hips, she went and took that California trip. Well, the moon was gold, her hair like wind. She said, don't look back, just to come on the gym. Oh, you've got to hold on, hold on. Baby, gotta hold on, take my hand, standing right here, you gotta hold on. Well, he gave her a dime store watch and a ring made from a spoon. Well, everyone is looking for someone to blame, but you share my bed, you share my name. Well, go ahead and call the cops. You don't girls in coffee shops. And she said, baby, I still love you. And sometimes there's nothing left to do. Oh, you've got to hold on, hold on. Baby, gotta hold on. Take my hand, standing right here, you gotta hold on. Well, God bless your crooked little heart. St. Louis got the best of me. And I miss your broken China voice. How I wish you were still here with me. Will you build it up, you wreck it down, and you burn your mansion to the ground. When there's nothing left to keep you here, and when you're falling behind in this big blue world, oh, you've got to hold on, hold on. Baby, gotta hold on. Taking my hand, standing right here, you gotta hold on. Down by the riverside motel, it's 10 below and falling. By a 99-cent store, she closed her eyes and started swaying. But it's so hard to dance that way when it's cold and there's no music. When your old hometown's so far away, but inside your head there's a record that's playing a song called Hold On, Hold On. Baby, gotta hold on. Take my hand, standing right here, you gotta hold on. You gotta hold on, hold on. Baby, gotta hold on. Take my hand, standing right here, you gotta hold on.
And that was Ian Blackwood there in the Bipolars with Hold On. Good choice, Jill.
Great song.
Good choice. It is a
Thank
great
you.
song. I said I've found a load more of his stuff that I'm going to play. That was a thing called the Bipolars he was working on, a little project. And he's got so many little projects that he's done musically, and they're all as good as each other. So I'll just dig a few more out and
Yeah.
see what we can do.
The grey and black stuff's really good as well.
Yes. Yeah, very, very good as well. And maybe what we need to do, Gilbo, is when he's hosting, maybe at the end of the night, normally I'll let Wispy stay on if Wispy's the last on, but maybe I'll get rid of Wispy and I'll bring you on for the last 10 minutes and you can come and say hi to him.
I thought you were just going to say you just talked to him, which would be fine by me also, by the way.
You can come and say hi if you want
But
to.
yeah, he just seems like a lovely guy, hugely talented, and such a nice person, just as it comes across in his on-sign session.
And
So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
the reason he's coming back on the show is, one, because I asked him, but two, because I sent him the screenshots of the conversation that you and Sarah Harris Bradley were having on the lunchtime show one day, and said, "This is what's happened on my show today. I think you need to come back and see us." And he was like, "Right, book me in."
Yeah, I probably wouldn't be allowed to come on and chat to him then. There's probably a restraining order in place by now.
No restraining orders. It's all good. Phil says, "Don't lick your screen, Gilbo."
No promises.
And they're all talking about cake in the chat room. I don't know if you've been keeping up with that, But apparently
Well,
you've
I had a quick look during the song, yeah.
apparently you've said Sarah's going to be getting a salty caramel cheesecake soon, and it's her birthday coming up, Gilbo.
Well, I said I would make her one day. I'm not sure it would post very well. Although if it arrived and it was a deconstructed cheesecake, it's probably worth 3 times as much. You get deconstructed things in fancy restaurants, don't you? So
You
maybe.
do, that's right. I mean, basically all they do is serve up the ingredients on a plate and expect you to make your own. I mean, that's pretty much how
Yeah.
it works.
I know. So you, some of these days you'll arrive and order a salad and you'll just get like a whole head of lettuce and a tomato and a cucumber and a knife.
Yeah.
It's like, there you go, make your own.
There's your salad. It's the same as having chefs in. Also you've got to do sort of a waiter to serve vegetables. It's quite good.
That's half the point of going out, having someone make your food for you and serve it to you, and no dishes.
Exactly.
It's great.
Exactly. I used to go to a place called Mongolian Barbecue, and you literally had to choose your meat raw, put it in your bowl, and choose all your vegetables, put it in your bowl, and any other flavours that you wanted, and you took it to a guy, and he basically cooked it on a massive hot plate
Okay.
in front of your face, like a big stir fry. But I always
Okay,
did think,
so-
but I maybe I'm not good at choosing my own flavours. Maybe I need the chef to do that for me.
I mean, sometimes, I'm not going to lie, sometimes I go out to restaurants and I look at things on the menu and I don't know what they mean. So, somebody like had this list of flavourings. I'm like, I don't recognise half of those, so I'll just steer clear.
So, I mean,
But, yeah.
what is your food of choice? I mean, obviously you have been involved in a lot of baking chats with Tony and Sean. What is your food of choice?
If I'm out for a meal and I can have a steak, I will have a steak.
Good work.
Love a good steak.
How's it cooked?
Medium.
Medium rare or medium?
No, medium.
Medium. I'm a
Medium.
medium rare.
Don't mind
kind
if
of
it's
guy.
a bit pink, but if it turns your potatoes pink, it's not cooked. I don't mind it a bit pink in the middle, but no. And I always used to say, if you get blood on your potatoes, and then my friend told me off, and he's like, it's not blood, it's myoglobin, and I was like, I don't care, it still makes my mash pink. It's wrong. You shouldn't be eating that.
I see. I like dipping my chips in it.
Oh, no. In the jus coming from your steak, absolutely, but it should not be pink.
And
That's
what,
just me.
What condiments do you have with your steak? I mean, are you a kind of a mustard type of girl, or do you like a béarnaise sauce, or?
No, very commonly over here you'll have one of two sauce. Well, you can get other ones, but the most common ones would be a pepper sauce, and
Right.
pepper is evil, so I will never have that on my steak or
don't eat
anywhere near
peppercorn.
me.
Good choice.
Ugh, no. The other one is Bushmill sauce, so it's like a creamy whiskey sauce.
Okay.
Don't normally have that. Don't normally, much as I like whiskey, I don't normally go for that with a steak. I quite like it just as it is, or maybe a bit of garlic butter or something. But yeah,
I'm making Sass feel
I-
sick in the chat room.
I'm a little bit of a purist where my steak's concerned.
Yeah, I mean, you've got
And
to know
yes-
how to like your steak. It's the important part. So, what's your favourite meal to cook?
Well, it depends on the time of year. Like if it's winter, ultimate comfort food is going to be something like a stew or, well, I don't know if it's very common over there, but certainly here and in Scotland it'd be like mince and tatties.
Yep.
So it's like minced steak and onions and carrots and gravy and mashed potatoes and stuff. It's like ultimate comfort food in the winter, or homemade vegetable broth. I make a lot of that in the winter time as well.
You see, we do it.
Um,
We do the meats and tatties, but what we do is we put the meat on the bottom, then we put the tatties on the top and call it shepherd's pie. It's the same thing, isn't it, really?
Well, I suppose it is very similar. Yeah, yeah.
So,
It's
what
also
about
good.
what about sweet side of things? Because again, the baked jam has been a lot about brownies and cheesecakes. And what's your ultimate sweet meal or sweet dish to cook?
Something meringue based, pavlova, lemon meringue, something like that.
Oh,
I
no.
would take your arm off for pavlova.
Pavlova, yes, but not lemon meringue. Pavlova,
Oh, yeah, it's
Pavlova
good.
with like summer fruits
good.
or something like that.
I particularly like strawberries and grapes on mine, although I'm not fussy. But if I was making it, that's what I would choose to put on it. But yeah, Pavlova's my ultimate dessert. Yeah.
Okay. So, when we come to visit, we can expect sort of mince and tatties and some pavlova, can we?
Yep,
I'm,
absolutely.
I'm
That can
making
be
a note,
arranged.
making a note of that right now. Look, there we go. So, yeah, all round to yours, and I mean all of us around to yours.
I do not have a big garden like the brothers.
So,
Sorry. They
you're
might need to do it in shift.
you're not musical from the point of view of you don't play an instrument, or do you play an instrument?
No, I am not a musician. I tried very hard. I started the same as everybody else with the recorder in primary school. And in fairness, I didn't do too bad with the recorder, but I have failed at the oboe, I have failed at the viola, I have failed at the guitar, and I have accepted that I'm just not a musician. I would like to be, but I just don't think it's going to happen.
Well, I think the fact that you've got out there and tried is the start. And personally, I do think everyone has got music in them. You've just got to find the right instrument, and obviously that's as broad as it is wide. If you try piano, maybe that would be your thing. Have you tried singing, Jilba? I mean, Irish typically have good voices.
I'm not a great singer. I feel like I would be better sort of slotted into a choir scenario with other voices around me. I can't ever see me singing any kind of solo
Excuse me.
performance. But I mean, just because I can't sing doesn't mean I won't. I do like to sing along with things from
And
the
kitchen dance.
from the privacy of my kitchen. Absolutely, yeah, yeah. It doubles my enjoyment if I'm kitchen singing and dancing at the same time.
So, what bands do you? I mean, obviously, besides the great stuff you've heard on Radio Freak Jam, I mean, what bands do you listen to outside of that?
Well, sort of more recently, I've been listening to a lot of Jamily stuff. The Days Remain, The Dark My Horizon, Ian Blackwood, that kind of stuff. Drop in a little bit of the Paul Miro. Kirk Farmer's really good as well. I've been listening
Yep.
to him a little bit. But for a while, sort of pre-lockdown, and it has mostly continued through lockdown as well, I was kind of listening to a lot of local artists. Always Ash, because got to support the local boys. I've been listening to a lot of a guy called Ryan McMullen. I'm not sure how well you guys would know him. He has supported Foy Vance on tour, who's another County Down musician as well. I've been listening to a lot of him. He was the last live act I saw pre-lockdown
Wow.
back in November 19. And he just has the most amazing voice. I've been listening to a lot of them. Massively late to the party. No one could ever accuse me of being an early adopter in anything, really. But I got really into the Gaslight Anthem last year, so I listened to a lot of them through last summer particularly. Yeah, apart from that, I kind of don't tend to, like, this is something that Phil and I discuss late at night on the phone quite regularly. I don't really listen to albums right through. I'll either shuffle them or I'll pick my favorite songs and make myself a playlist. So there's always a lot of Northern Irish stuff in there. Sort of the Ash, the Foy Vance, Ryan McMullen, Therapy, Snow Patrol. I've only got one from a guy called Cormac Neeson. I'm not sure if you guys have heard of The Answer.
No,
Band
The
called
Answer.
The Answer. He was
Yes,
the
I've
front
heard
man
of
from them. And there's a song of his that I really like called, I think it's Home to Me is the name of the song. So it features on a few of my playlists as well. So yeah, that's most of what I've been listening to. There's always Frank Turner in there as well.
Obviously, because that's
Can't
a
forget him.
big link with
Obviously,
you and
that
Phil.
should go without saying. Yeah.
So, if there was one song that you couldn't live without, one song you couldn't live without, what would
Oh
it be?
man, this is like the kind of question Phil asks you at 4 o'clock in the morning on Zoom, and you're like,
Yeah, but
how
it's
can I
five.
ever
It's
answer
5
this?
to 10 on Radio Freak Jam, and it's a perfectly valid question. And it's 5 to 10 just to let you know we've done an hour and we're still chatting happily.
Just one song. I couldn't pick one song. I couldn't pick one song. There's too many because it change. Like my favorite songs will change with the time of day I'm listening, what mood I'm in that day, how tired I am. I couldn't pick a single song.
Come on.
That's not even a fair question.
Right now, one song you couldn't live without. Off the top of your head, what would it be?
There's a Foy Vance song called Burden. And yeah, that's that kind of floated to the top of my mind. It's probably not an all-time favorite song, but it means a lot to me for a few different reasons. And yeah, I wouldn't like to think I could never hear it again.
You see, that's what we're talking about. It doesn't have to be your favourite song. It just has to be a song that holds a memory or a certain place in time that you don't want to forget. Do you know what I mean? So, Burden, Roy Vance.
Foy Vance.
Foy Vance.
Yeah.
Okay, so there you go. I'm going to put that in the chat room. How do you spell that?
Foyvance.
Right. So go and check that out,
Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen. That's Jilbo's one song that she couldn't live without right at this moment in time. So yeah, I think that's it. I think things like that are really, really interesting. Look, it's 5 to 10. Let's do a bit more.
How did that happen?
Let's do a little bit more. Let's have another song, and then we'll come back and have another little chat, and then we'll do another song, and then we'll say sort of go bye. So, what else is on your list?
Well, the next one that was on my list, I think you have a recording of it, but no worries if you don't, because we can skip to the next one. Do you have Wispy's Drinking Out Loud song?
Not as a recording, I don't think. No, only
Okay,
live on
that's
the
all right.
show. Right, Wispy, you need to sort that out for me. But good choice.
That's okay,
I
no.
like where you're going with that.
We can skip on. I think it's a great song. It's just a happy little tune, and it just reflects it's kind of like the mood at the time where he kind of debuted it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like it.
So come on, what's the next one?
Next one, The Dark of My Horizon, Carpe Diem. There's a bit of a theme with most of these choices, actually. They're all kind of like encouraging themes, sort of like take the opportunity while you can, seize the day, oh, Captain, my Captain, and all that good stuff.
Yeah, and I think that positive vibe has been something that we've been trying to push on the show, and trying to keep everyone keep their stiff upper lip and keep on going and holding on and seizing that day and all that business. So yeah, you're picking some proper anthems there. So let's have this. This is The Dark of My Horizons with Carpe Diem.
Pour me another drink. I'll toast to anything. effigy of how we used to be. Life ain't no lullaby. Close your eyes, it'll pass you by. But know that I, even stand in the back, I will survive. Seize the day. You can burn your effigy of how we used to be. Life ain't no lullaby. Close your eyes, it'll pass you by. But know that I, even stand in the back, I will survive. Now I can tell the lies of a fool from their eyes.
And that was Carpe Diem there by Darken My Horizon. Everyone's loving that choice too, Gilbo.
What can I say?
Maybe we just
What
have to
can I
make it a
say?
regular thing. Gilbo's picks. Just
I mean, yeah, I do have my little list for Wednesday lunchtimes, although the last couple of weeks I've only been able to tune in and watch back, really. I've been busy around Wednesday lunchtime, but I always do watch it back. It's good fun.
yeah, it's just nice to get out there and play some tunes and just do, less chat, more music, which is always good. And, encouraging you lot to take a break and have a sandwich. Hopefully I'll do one Wednesday, but it's half term. And
Yeah, okay, fair
I
enough.
might be doing something with the kids. I got my second vaccine tomorrow.
Exciting times.
Yeah.
Fully 5G.
So, yeah, I'll be fully 5G'd up. And obviously that depends on how I react to that as well as what happens this week. But
Of course.
if we will be doing Thursday. And Thursday, Mr. Caesar's going to be joining us as a co-host.
Hooray.
All the way
As long
from...
as he doesn't get lost, he's up the mountain somewhere at the minute. He sent me a message just before this.
He's up a mountain somewhere. What's he doing up a mountain?
Hannah and him have gone Grandfather Mountain or something, North Carolina anyway, I think he said. So yeah,
Okay.
he sent me a couple of pictures. It looks amazing.
So, Wispy says lunchtime co-host with Gilbo. You can come do a Wednesday show with me on the lunchtimes. We should make that
That's
happen one
enough
day.
good ideas.
It's his ideas that got you here in the first place, wasn't it?
Exactly.
Him
Well,
and Ti- him
Tim's
and
idea.
Tim, yeah.
Yeah. Have you been affected by cyberbullying?
Yeah, we all have. A year and a half, it's been constant cyberbullying for everyone.
Yeah.
So, you've done well, honey. It's 10:05. We've talked about a lot of bits and pieces about you. You said you weren't very interested, and I would like to disagree with that, and I think most of the people in the chat room will as well.
Oh, you're very kind.
So, hopefully, now you're getting used to this, maybe you'll come back and do some other bits and pieces with us. Maybe you will come back and do a lunchtime show with us one day.
Yeah, maybe.
That'd be
Never
quite
say never.
interesting. Yeah. And obviously, as I said, as we migrate back to normality and bits and pieces like that, we're going to try and keep this going for people like you. Just change the days over and do other bits and pieces. So, what is your plans? I mean, obviously, life gets back to normal. Is it back to the day job and back to the normal grind, or has Gilbo got dreams and hopes and has ambitions to do?
Well, I always have dreams and hopes and ambitions, and without those, what point is there in life? But until such times as I win the lottery. Well, I mean, as an essential worker, I've been working all along, so there is no kind of going back to work for me. For a year-ish, we were kind of working like a hybrid working, a couple of days in the office and 3 days at home. But we're now back full-time, 5 days in the office. So in that respect, it's already happened, that sort of side of normality. But yeah, just as the restrictions are lifting, just I just have a list of people that I haven't been able to see for a long time because they were shielding or they live more than 10 miles away or whatever. So I just, in turn, trying to catch up with all of them, spend a bit of time with them, just having some fun at last. And hopefully I'll get around everyone before, or hopefully it won't happen, but in case another lockdown comes, hopefully I'll get to check in with everyone at least once or twice. So that's the main plan. At some stage, hopefully very soon, I would like to come across and visit you guys because, like I say, I've only actually met a few of you guys from the Jamily, and it would be lovely to actually say hi in person to the rest of you. So hopefully that'll not be too far over the horizon.
What's the state of play with that at the moment? Are you allowed to travel yet, or is that not quite on the cards yet?
I think technically we can travel. So the stay-at-home message and because you could only travel across to GB for like business reasons and stuff for a number of months, and I think that lifted a week or a couple of weeks ago. So yeah, hopefully it won't be too much longer now. We'll figure something out. So yeah,
Everything crossed for you.
yeah, it'll be good. Be
Saz
good.
is saying we've forgotten something. Have we forgotten something?
Don't think so. Don't
No.
think so. So Saz did. I shouldn't probably admit this, but now that it's happened, I feel like I can. She did issue me a challenge before this.
All right.
She gave me a secret word to drop into the conversation, and I feel if that's what she's talking about, she may have missed it. But I definitely did get it in there a little while ago.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
So yeah. But
can I
yeah,
ask what the word was?
cucumber.
Okay. Yes, you did as well. Yes.
Deconstructed salad on a knife. Yeah.
Yeah, you did. Well done. Good
Yeah.
work. I'm liking that's a fun little thing. I like.
So yeah, because I was so glad the conversation kind of went that way, because I'm like, how am I ever going to fit this in talking about music? But yeah, it worked out quite well.
Baked jam to salads. I mean, it went
Yeah.
pretty simply from there. That wasn't too
Natural
hard.
step. Yeah. As if I wasn't under enough pressure for this as it was. It's like, yeah, here's a secret word you have to fit in. I'm like, how can I do this? But yeah, it was fine.
So have you got family over here, or when you come over, is it literally crashing with friends and bits and pieces like that, or do you hire the best hotels and stay in luxury?
Oh well, yes. When I win the lottery, of course, it'll be 5-star all the way, darling. But yeah, no. I mean, the only time I've ever been anywhere near you guys was whenever I came over for Alfest last summer.
Right.
And we had a night in Phil's house, and then the weekend camping
Nice.
at Alfest. So yeah, that has been my experience of being over Hampshire, Surrey direction. Yeah.
Whispy says, I feel like Ian just got played at his own game. No, I like that game. I like that. That's good. And I like it that I could lead it down there easily for you. That was
Yeah. The planets aligned. You're all very kind to me.
knowing how nervous you were. I think it's unfair of them to issuing you challenges. To be honest, Gilbo, you know.
Honestly, I'm surprised there weren't more challenges, if I'm truthful.
I mean, how did Saz even know? Or was it like just after I put the post out that she issued the challenge? Yeah. Right, okay. Because we kept it quiet. We wanted to be a bit mysterious, didn't we?
Yeah.
But look, all I can say is you've done absolutely brilliantly. And, take a bit of credit. You are a lot more interesting than you give yourself credit for.
Oh, thank you.
And, quite, again, from the heart, thank you very much for being a part of this. All the musicians who come on, all the bands we've involved with, the co-hosts and bits and pieces, it's all wonderful. But people like you out in the chat room just bring a whole other dimension to what we do. Having people who are listening in different countries is amazing, considering we're meant to be a local community-based thing. So, people like you are representing a lot of people like yourself out there listening. It's just wonderful to have you on board and part of this. And glad Wispy could bully you to do this tonight.
Yeah. Wispy and Aslan a little bit as well. Although by that stage the deal was already struck, wasn't it? And like last Thursday night, you're like, "Oh, I've got a freak to meet," and I was like, "Jilbo, it's Jilbo." It was just immediately in the chat, and I'm like, "Shut up!" But yeah, it's all good.
And everyone's in the chat going, "Smashed it, Jilbo. Nice to meet you, Jilbo."
Oh, thank you guys.
See, they're all loving it. Smashed it, Jilbo. Nice to meet you, Jilbo. Yeah. See, it's all
very
good.
kind. You're all very kind.
So, what song would you like us to play out on?
To play out on? I didn't even get amplified. I didn't see that. You're just going to have to save that for another lunchtime.
Yeah.
I think it has to be.
Before we go, let's
Oh, sorry.
you know, let's talk about Amplified, because you took a bit of a shine to those boys, didn't you?
Yeah, well, you see, I naturally gravitate towards anything Swedish. I feel like I've never been to Sweden yet, but I feel like it's my spiritual home. So like my ancestors, someone did the Bond family tree a while back and managed to take it back to the Vikings. So Bonda is like farmer in Norse, or in the Scandinavian languages. So yeah, I feel an affinity with the Scandinavians, and for some reason Sweden in particular. I don't know why. I don't know if that means anything or not, because I think probably it's more likely that they were Danish Vikings that came over here. I'm not sure. But yeah, I taught myself a little bit of Swedish through Duolingo. And
Come on
yeah,
then.
I just I can write things. Like, I'm not very good with the whole accent
You must
stuff.
have one phrase you can say.
I, I feel like I want to say this because I find it so funny every time it comes up as one of the questions. So you either get Swedish and you have to pick type in the English words, or it'll give you the English and it'll give you Swedish words and you have to pick the right ones.
Right.
But there's one phrase, and I shouldn't laugh at it, but I do, because some of them are ridiculous, and it's yep, Phil is correct. Yeah. um, it's kroppen var redan kall när de hittade det den. And it's like, in English, it's the body was already cold when they found it. And I'm like, what? It's so crazy. I always remember that one because it's such a bizarre phrase that I don't think I would ever need if I went to Sweden.
Is
But,
that sort of like
yeah.
taken off the end of some sort of Swedish detective movie or something like that?
Oh, I don't know. It's probably a bit of Wallander or something. Yeah, I don't know. But that one always kind of sticks in my mind because it's so ridiculous. But yeah, they do have a few kind of interesting phrases, shall we say? Like there's some that probably Wispy would be a big fan of. Like you could fit them into a song somewhere. It's like Vilken stor korv du har, which is like, what a big sausage you have, and things like that. They always make me laugh. So yeah, I've neglected it a lot recently because I got drunk one night watching Phil's stream and forgot to do my Swedish lesson and lost my 453-day streak, and I have not forgiven Duolingo or myself yet.
Or Phil?
No, it was my fault because you used to get like a thing where you could it's like protected no claims bonus on your insurance. You could like preserve your streak, but I'd already used that and forgot to reset it, so it's 100% my fault. Totally my fault. Hold my hands up. Can't blame anyone else. So yeah, I've neglected it lately, but I'll have to get back to it because it's good fun.
Awesome. So I made your day when I showed a couple of videos with half-naked Swedes in. Yeah,
Absolutely.
fair enough.
Absolutely. I mean, they didn't even necessarily have to be half naked. Like, I mean, that was just a bonus. But yeah, I do like anything Swedish. Yeah, I tried to learn Danish, but it's too difficult. They don't pronounce half of the letters in the words. They're just a
Right.
waste of time. You shouldn't even be there. It's too hard. But yeah, Swedish I get on all right with so far.
Well, maybe we'll have a Swedish show one night.
Yes, get the Amplified guys
We'll
back
get
on.
Amplified back on, and you can come and talk to them in their native language.
Yeah, tell them where the body is.
And that it was cold.
Yeah, absolutely. It'll be cold when you find it.
So come on in. You said that you want to play out on each other, and obviously, for anyone who watches the show, they know
Yeah.
that's by Mr. Phil Reese.
Yeah, so the reason that I picked this, although he wrote it just before lockdown, it just feels like it's a bit of a Jamley anthem. It's kind of like what the Jamley stands for, just kind of looking out for each other, keeping each other going through the tough times, keeping the laughs going. I know that the group chat has kind of calmed down a little bit lately when things are getting back to normal and stuff, but for a long time, it was a massive lifeline for me. The Thursday night jam was a huge lifeline for me because Thursday for a long time was one of my in-work days, so it gave me something to look forward to coming home after a stressful day, at work, and I was able to come in and relax and have a bit of a laugh with you guys, listen to some good music, have a drink. And yeah, I think just each other kind of sums that up for me a little bit.
I think,
So yeah, it was the natural choice for me.
yeah, I mean, I think Phil knew something was coming. I think maybe, you know, he knew about this pandemic and he wrote that song particularly for it.
Burn the witch!
That's my
No,
theory.
don't.
Build a bridge out of
Don't
her.
at all.
So, right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us. Jilbo, again, thank you very much for stepping up and coming and doing this. I know it's been a bit of
thank you
pressure
for
and a
having
peer
me.
pressure, but it's been a pleasure talking to you. I think, you know, people really have enjoyed finding out a bit more about you. Guys, if you can support the show, please go to buymeacoffee.com/Radio FreakJam and buy us a coffee. The more caffeine, the better. That's all I'm saying. Or if you want some great merch like lovely Jilbo's wearing there, or like I'm wearing here, you can go to freakjam.b4branded.co.uk. As I said earlier, we've got Mr. Tim O'Sullivan, Caesar, joining us on the show on Thursday. Saturday, don't know what's going on yet. I'll let you know what's happening with that. And the Monday after that on Meet the Freaks, we have got Drew Lowe, who was the guitarist in Inglorious for a while. And now he's got a new band called Just a Ride. And we're going to sit and have a chat with him. He's been down the Jam a few times. He's a very, very talented guitarist. So we're going to get him on and have a chat with him. So that should be good. Bit sort of more grungy, modern grunge, if that's... What do you reckon, Jilbo?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's do it.
So we'll have a chat with Drew Lowe next week. Everyone, thank you very much for listening. Love you loads. Look after yourselves. We will maybe see you Wednesday with Lunchtime Live if the kids don't drag me out somewhere, like to the zoo or something like that. And if not, we'll definitely be back Thursday. So see you later, Jilbo.
See you later, Jilbo.
Take care, guys. This is Each Other by Mr. Phil Reese.
As the world lost its mind, we're slipping into hell together. We're teetering on the precipice. It can't be like this forever. It seems the future's broken, and no one has got a clue. In times like this, darling, cling on to me and I'll hold on to you. At times like these, all we have is each other. Be gentle, be kind, look after one another. At times like these, all we have is each other, and I wouldn't change that for the world. Together we are stronger. We've got each other's backs. Disaster may affect us, but it won't stop us in our tracks. We can't fight the unknown, and we can't pretend that it's fine. Let's cling to each other and hold ourselves in line. At times like these, all we have is each other. Be gentle, be kind, look out for one another. At times like these, all we have is each other, and I wouldn't change that for the world. So stick with me and we'll have everything. Panic and worry can't change what's happening. As long as we have one another. Remember, hysteria comes and goes. We're so in this insanity, and no one knows what to believe. Believe in each other and look out for the ones in need. look out for your friends, and they will look out for you if we take care of each other. There's nothing that we can't get through. At times like these, all we have is each other. Be gentle, be kind, look out for one another. At times like these, all we have is each other, and I wouldn't change that for the world.